Okay, so there we go. We have the Eagles have just throttled the Minnesota Vikings. And I'll tell you, man, Nick Foles tore it up. Uh, I didn't think he was going to do it. I don't know. He did all right. I mean, I've seen better performances. He racked up a lot of yards, and his stats say that he was really good. But I think it was really good coaching and play calling. Because the throws he were making, I didn't think they were like thread the needle type of throws. I thought they were like, oh, it's a great play, and this guy's wide open, so it's an easy throw type plays. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll tell you what, the Eagles looked better in their game against the Vikings than the Patriots did against the Jaguars. And you could sit there and say the Jaguars are way better than the Vikings all you want. I just saw the Vikings romp a team the week before. You know what I'm saying? A tough team, So I just wanted to say that. I'll be giving my Super Bowl picks coming up. So I missed both picks, but I missed the Jaguars by a little bit. The Jaguars almost beat them. If it wasn't for two pass interference penalties that, in my opinion, may have cost them the game, because two touchdown drives that the Patriots had were all due to penalties, like long penalties, like 40-yard penalty or something like that, a pass interference penalty. So I don't know. I don't think the Patriots are looking as sharp this year as they have in the past. I've seen the Patriots come into the Super Bowl and Brady threw 7 interceptions all year or whatever, or 4 interceptions, I can't remember. And they're smoking hot. But it doesn't look like that this year, okay? And, you've got all the ringless Eagle jokes, well, those might stop. And remember I said, after the New England Jaguar game, I said, everybody expected the Patriots to come in there and just blow the doors off the lowly Patriots with Blake Bortles. Oh, Blake Bortles is going to ruin it. And Blake Bortles had a good game, and the Jaguars were a frog's hair from beating the Patriots. So, doesn't seem like the Patriots team I've seen years before. And, but Gronk is going to be healthy again. But I'm not going to sit here and say if Gronk had been healthy that whole game, that they would have just blew the doors off of the Jaguars, because the Jaguars were defending them good, but you can't blame. I was in a chat with a guy, and he kept saying Blake Bortles this, Blake Bortles that, Blake Bortles that. Blake Bortles did enough for the Jaguars to win. Okay, the Patriots scored Patriots scored quite a few points on that defense. They have a good defense, but there were some plays where I thought, like you look at that last play for New England, the Jaguars' last chance when they threw that ball, that cornerback got his head around and saw the ball and batted it down. And I thought the Jaguars should have done that on a few plays, And I kind of felt like they just sat there rushing the quarterback with 4 guys in coverage too long. You just sit there rushing 4 guys at Tom Brady and in coverage over and over again. He beats you once. He's just going to tear that up. And you can't just say, well, it works against most teams, works against a lot of teams. You should know, hey, this isn't going to work with the Patriots. I'm going to have to mix it up. These 4 guys are not getting pressure. We're going to have to do some sort of different type of play. And so I felt like Jags stayed in that too long. They didn't have as good a running game. New England was hell-bent on stopping the running game. And, the Eagles, the thing about the Eagles is they've got 2 great running backs. I know it's Case Keenum and it's not Tom Brady, but Case Keenum looked pretty good the week before. Their defense is doing good. The Eagles. Foles is getting it done, dude. With that offense, Foles is tearing it up. They've got Joseph Ajayi. To me, the week before, I thought Ajayi, he looked kind of like Barry Sanders, For a couple plays, He's running the tar out of the ball. And you have a guy like that, a speed guy, but you can't just plan for that because then you got a power guy behind him, a 250-something pound LeGarrette Blount, And it would be kind of weird if Blount comes back and wins the Super Bowl against his former team, But, so... And, I looked at the Eagles roster before this year, and that's why I picked them to finish second behind the Cowboys this year. And, I kind of still stick to that. My NFC East predictions are right, except the Cowboys and Eagles were switched places. I think if the Cowboys had Ezekiel Elliott all year, and you say, well, he was only out 6 games. They only lost 3 games during those 6 games. Well, yeah, but every week before that, we didn't know if he was going to come back or not. And so we had Alfred Morris in there practicing all the plays. And Ezekiel Elliott wasn't even training. He was down at the courthouse every day and talking to his lawyers. And then at the end of the year, I don't know. I guess he had a little while to get in shape. But, I think it's going to be a dogfight. It would have been a dogfight this year if Elliott hadn't got suspended. And he knew he wasn't going to get suspended, because... I don't know about after the last game, but the leader in rushing this year only got 1,300, 1,400 yards. I mean, a lot of years, your leader in rushing has almost 2,000 yards. And Ezekiel Elliott is a 1,800-yard running back. The only reason he got 1,600 last year was because the last 2 games he didn't play. So 2 more 100-yard games, he would have had 1,800. And even though he didn't play the last 2 games, he finished the season with like over 200 yards more than the next running back. They only had like 1,400 like they have this year. So the Cowboys have a 1,800-yard running back, and the best running back in the rest of the league is like a 1,400, 1,300-yard running back. See what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the Eagles are going to have the NFC East next year, but should be some interesting games between them and the Cowboys. But anyways, also now we've got the Patriots and the Eagles. If the Eagles wanted to be their first time, I just wanted to plead the Eagles case a little bit because I know everybody's hell-bent on the Patriots. But with Nick Foles playing the way he is, we've got ourselves a Super Bowl.